Okay, this is Kyle and Tyler's Doodlecast. Yay! This presentation will be on the journey of a hamburger and the digestive system. First off, we start in the mouth. The mouth is where it all starts. The mouth is where the starch starts breaking down into sugar. Whereas the carbohydrates and the fats and the proteins, they just keep going down the esophagus. They get broken down in the mouth into little smaller parts. The next place where the digestion takes place is the esophagus, which is a muscle that pushes the food down into the stomach. Next comes the stomach. The stomach has something called sorry. The stomach has enzymes that help break down protein. This is where it all starts. Next is the small intestine. And the small intestine, even though it's called the small intestine, it's really long. In the small intestine, there are enzymes that help break down fats, carbohydrates, proteins, and yeah. In the small intestine as well, there are enzymes from the pancreas, the liver, and the gallbladder that help break down food. Next comes the absorption in the small intestine. In the small intestine, there are things called villi, or villi, or however it's pronounced, and these help increase the surface area of the lining of the small intestine, and that allows more absorption and more breaking down. Next, well, not really next, but one thing that we haven't really talked about is the pancreas. And the food never actually goes to the pancreas, it's just the enzymes from the pancreas that help break down all three of the major nutrients. After the small intestine comes the liver. Now, the liver helps break down fat and turns it into bile. As well as the pancreas, food never actually goes into the liver. Next is the gallbladder, and the gallbladder, again, food never actually goes into it, but it stores bile, and the gallbladder isn't actually necessary, and some people have surgery to remove the gallbladder. And the bile that is stored into the gallbladder, it's not an enzyme, but it breaks the fats down to these smaller pieces so that they can be absorbed into the bloodstream better. In the gallbladder, the bile goes to the small intestine. Well, where it will be like food. And then again, the gallbladder, like the liver and the pancreas, food never passes there. Next is the large intestine, which is where it kind of all ends. And anything that's not absorbed in the small intestine, it will go to the large intestine. This is where water is absorbed and stuff. And it stores the waste. Next is the bloodstream, where the proteins are absorbed into, right? And the proteins travel through the bloodstream to then be absorbed into other parts of the body.
The anus is where all the extra food and other things that were not absorbed into the bloodstream or the intestines exit the body in the butt. At this point, the digestion is totally complete. And hamburger is totally gone.